And good evening, everyone. So welcome tonight. This is our annual summer show. So we are going to get started here right away. I know the summer's been short for some people, but long for others. So here's what we have for you tonight. So tonight it's your 10-day challenge. And I think it's important for a 10-day challenge to really understand that, sometimes a great time to do this. I do them 4 times a year. We do the 21-day in January. We do a 10-day in April, a 10-day in July, and a 10-day in October. Now, I do give you the freedom to choose what you want to do. So if you want to do a blood sugar program, or you can do an inflammation program, or I didn't even, the detox program is there, but I also made up an inflammation program. So I designed a protocol because I've had patients coming in that are traveling now, traveling by air, and are coming in and canceling their appointments because they have COVID. Now, the symptoms may not be too bad, but it still is a hamper on our immune system. So I think it's really important that we kind of be mindful of that. So it may not be something for you now, or if you decide that you need something like that, just chat with Marianne and we'll get you set up with everything. All right, well, here we go. So welcome. So this is your first day of your journey. So if you have your kit already and you started, because you've done this before, awesome. Most everybody will start tomorrow. So I will give you everything you need to get. If you don't have your kit, Marianne has them at the office. You can pick them up. If you need to order something, let me know and I'll get that happening for you, and you can get your kit within a day or so. All right. So when we talk about a wellness journey, it's not, diet is a word, but, I think of how we eat as a lifestyle. We just don't go on a diet and then you get to where you are, stop. No, we continue doing that process. For myself, it's been a journey for me. I've changed things as I've learned things. So you get the benefit of my past journey, but I also continue to improve my journey. So you also get that benefit. So here's what you're going to look at. So here's your challenge. First, we're going to start following an eating program of focus more on whole foods and unprocessed foods, vegetables, lean fruits, lean proteins, and some fruits. Especially if you're doing a blood sugar, we're not going to do as many fruits on that. And I'll let you have them, but only in a shake, and we'll limit what you're going to have. We'll talk more about that. So we're going to avoid refined carbohydrates. That's all those middle aisles in the grocery store. We're going to decrease our artificial sweeteners. So you definitely throw out Splenda, saccharin, and all those. You're allowed to have a little monk fruit. You can have some Splenda. But we want to get rid of some of those chemical additives, your processed meats, your fried foods, your caffeine. I will let you have caffeine here, and no soft drinks though. Since I'm a little more strict on the 21 day where I let you really clean out for the year, on the 10 days, I'll allow you to have caffeine as long as you're not abusing it. So if you want to do a green tea that has caffeine in it, or you want to do a coffee that has caffeine in it, that's fine. So we can make sure you add those into your, and not worry, because people are so worried when I take away things from them. So I will let you have that. So you'll be having some supplement shakes, and I like to do a protein shake. Most of you are doing Veggie Pro, which is my favorite. I am a vanilla girl for sure. And it'll have all whole food. So it's really getting your body conditioned to eating that. If you've done the 21 day in the beginning of the year and you've kind of fallen off the wagon, or literally, like you've heard me say before, that you broke up the wagon, set it on fire, and then used the insurance money to go buy donuts, then this is a time to kind of reel it back in. I see what you post on Facebook as far as what foods you've eaten. So I have a pretty good idea what's going on the outside world. So we also want to have a simple protocol. I'll get that set up. We'll talk about that in just a second. This first night is really designed to kind of get you used to the products that you'll be using, so you know what you're taking. And I think understanding the why you take it is even more important. And, ideally, if you really work hard on this and you follow the rules here, you could lose up to 10 pounds in a day in this challenge. So some people lose more, some people lose less, but it's not what you win or lose. It's, that you're making this lifestyle journey. Now, if you are local, we do have some people that are doing the class that are not local. But if you have time and you want to come in the office and do an in-body, just let us know. I would do it within the next day or so, and then we'll do it at the end. If you want to continue the journey, I have some people doing 2 10-day programs. So that's also a possibility. So if you feel like you need to do it just a little, 10 days is good, but not quite enough, talk to me and we'll kind of continue your journey as well. So that way we can kind of monitor you in the office by using the in-body. And if you haven't been on the in-body, I highly, highly, highly recommend it, because it will show you really what you're made of. I mean, really what you're made of. So it's a really good way to start if you've never done something like this before. And this is always a nice beginning journey when you're doing a detox to get you ready for the 21 day in January. So let's get you ready. So here's how we're going to start. You're going to look at your food in your kitchen now. So I want you to clean out the foods that you know are not on your food list. And you either have a little red book or you have a little yellow book for either blood sugar inflammation. A little secret, the food lists are the same. It's just the supplementation that's different. So you're going to remove any foods that are high in refined carbohydrates and or sugar or fat. So we don't get you tempted. Give them to somebody you don't like. I mean, it's hard for me to tell you to give them somebody you like because you're going through this. Why wouldn't they? Yeah, I can't even tell you to give it to the food bank. So get them out of your kitchen. Stock your pantry. So I would shop a couple days at a time because our foods taste change as we go. So you want to look at your vegetables, your proteins, your low glycemic index fruits like berries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. You want to, if you do a banana in your shake, I mean, only a piece of a banana because they're very high in sugar. So think about that. You want to be able to have a few days of meals on hand. The frozen vegetables, great idea. So bag of salad, great idea. If you want to do organic all the way, which I highly recommend, awesome. If you can't do organic all the way, not a problem. It's still going to work. You just have a better, I think, better cleansing experience when you go organic. But if it's your first time and this is totally new to you, let's start simple because I want you to be successful. And that's my job, is to get you through this. And then we're going to make some simple lifestyle changes if you haven't done them already. You know, try to get more sleep. Don't sit for long periods of time. You know, get about 10,000 steps in a day. So if you have a Fitbit or anything like that now, look at your steps. If you don't have enough steps, if you don't have 10,000 steps after this class, you need to get busy. Yeah, it's just a way to show that you need to keep moving or you're not moving enough. So how do you really make this journey successful? So for you, if you're new to this, you want to eat frequently throughout the day to help maintain your blood sugar levels. If you're already a kind of a pro at this, you've done this many times before, then you may be, I mean, you've been in a program with me before, you may be intermittent fasting. You can still do that. Just limit your 2 meals, your food to your 2 meals. That's fine. Eat twice as many vegetables as fruits. This is a huge, huge, huge thing to me because we are on a blood sugar program. And the difference between the vitamin C in broccoli and the vitamin C in an orange, the only difference is the sugar. So stay with your veggies, and colors of the rainbow veggies will give you all the nutrients and vegetables you need. Just limit your fruit because especially if you have a sugar issue we're working with, the fruit is only going to entice that. So we want to try to cut that sugar appetite down for a little bit. So we want to look at mixed green salads, you know, for lunch and dinner. So adding some salmon and some chicken, something like that on there. Remember, this is different than a 21 day. You don't have to not have protein. You can have protein throughout the whole program. The 21 day, we allow you have a protein beginning, animal protein beginning day 11. So you are getting protein from the Veggie Pro shake because you're getting that through plant-based protein as in yellow pea, pumpkin seed, and sesame seed protein. So you get that. And if you want to have, you know, eggs, chicken, fish, beef, great. Try to make a better selection in getting grass-fed, grass-finished beef or pork or chicken, free-range chicken, free-range eggs, and then wild-caught salmon or wild-caught fish. And you want to stay with your salmon, your oilier fishes, so you get those valuable omega-3s you always hear me talk about. Try getting some different color veggies. You know, we eat the rainbow, you know, on your veggies. You've got yellow squash, and you can have broccoli, and you can have tomatoes, and you can have red pepper. So you can make it very colorful. I'm a Libra, so I like pretty. So food has to look pretty. So it's placed on the plate in angles, and it's just me, you know, it's just how I do that. So you're going to drink water also. And people always ask me, how much water do I need to drink? You know, in the summertime, we definitely need to drink more, but in the wintertime, we need to drink too, because we're not drinking as much. So, you know, I use a vessel like this. This is my Zulu, and I like the Zulu because you can unscrew the bottom and unscrew the top, so you can really clean it well. And it's very handy, keeps the water cool. So I always have some type of vessel that you can do that. I use that so I can not use up plastic bottles. And I like it. It's handy, and it helps me keep track of how much water I am drinking. So if I get to the end of the day or middle of the day and it's only halfway empty, I know I haven't had enough. Remember, your muscles are 75% water. So if you're not drinking enough water, you lose that in your muscle, your blood gets thicker. So it makes your blood pressure go up. So that's where water is valuable. It's good for your skin, it's good for your whole body. So here's your little formula that I kind of did for you. So you divide your body weight in half, and that's about approximately how many ounces you should have in a day. Now, you could count tea or something like that or coffee, but the rule is if you drink something with color, you have to have twice as much water to flush it out of your kidneys. So I don't even count my coffee or tea or anything like that I do. And you do get some water from your vegetables, but it's not enough. You actually have to physically drink water. I test patients all day long. And a lot of times their kidneys come up. Well, I don't have a kidney problem. I'm like, how much water did you drink? Oh, I'm not very good at drinking water. So drink water. Doesn't cost anything. So I wanted, this is our I love our lights, so I have to show these off. These are our hue lights, so I get to decorate the house in different colors. So happy belated 4th of July. It's our patriotic lighting. All right, so let's get to business. So some of you already know this. I'm just reminding you because you have to always keep this in your head. We are human beings placed in a world full of toxins. We have toxins inside of us. They go inside of us. We are exposed by toxins outside of us. We have a super amazing body. I mean, it does things that you don't have to think about. Can you imagine having to think about heartbeat, 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 and then you have to swallow and you have to breathe and you have to blink your eyes and then the phone would ring? Well, we'd all be dead. So that body has an innate behavior that can monitor all of that without us having to think about it. Thank goodness. I know we multitask, but that would be ridiculous multitasking. So remember, our body has a whole system really designed to do this, detoxification process. But honestly, it's just never been designed to do it as we challenge it in a day. And you may think that you're doing great, but if you drive in a car, if you drive someplace and smell cigarette smoke, if you smell it, you're breathing it. If you smell car exhaust, if you go into a new building with carpet, those are all things you're breathing in, not even thinking about it. If somebody has plugins, if somebody uses chemicals to clean with or pesticides or insecticides. So there's all kind of exposure that happens, not only in our foods that we eat, but just in where we live and how we live. So we want to be able to think about those things. In 21 days in January, we will do a deeper part of that detoxification. So this is kind of like, I call it like a mini detox, but it gets your body going into that back on that wagon and gets you going into that detox kind of program that the body already has built in. So we have 3 phases. Phase 1 is to unlock it. So when our liver does its job of cleaning out the body, and the liver has a big job, one of the 600 things it does is clean out our liver, or clean out our toxins. So it has to unlock all those toxins, which is great. But in that unlocking process, it makes those toxins even more toxic. So we have to have a phase 2 that comes in, and the phase 2 kind of neutralizes everything so that it can be eliminated. And then the phase 3 is to get it out. So we get it out through sweating, we get it out through urine, we get it out through feces, we get it out through breath. And that's why you hear me talk about exercise. That breathing is also a small part of that elimination. Not a huge part, but it is a part of it. So I think all of us need all the help we can get. So here, you just take a look at this. You know what you're exposed to. Thank goodness we don't have all the air pollution that some of these places have. But cleaning products, we look at preservatives and additives in our food. If you're exposed to paints or dyes, it may be a hobby you do. Personal care products, most shampoos have sodium lauryl sulfate. That's the same shampoo or same soap they use in a car wash. So, and that's a lot of chemicals. So we don't really need those things in our body or for our body to be exposed to. So we have endogenous toxins also, and those are your carbon dioxide, your ammonia, also your free radicals, and those are converted in our body. So doing a detox program also helps to neutralize those as well. So they're everywhere, but they can cause, and you can see here in the corner, if you look at fatigue, difficulty sleeping, indigestion, food cravings, no mental clarity. low libido, skin issues, joint discomfort. And for me, I love doing 10 days, and I do this always with you. So I'm not the one. It's not good enough for me, then it's not good enough for you. So I'm always going to do it with you. So we started today. And like I said, for me, it's the mental, just the clarity and I get just laser focused. Even if it's not 21 days, it still kind of brings me back in. My brain still knows that's going to happen. So these are some of the things you'll notice when this happens. So I'm not cutting caffeine, so you shouldn't get a whole lot of the headache. And if you're already kind of eating well, you shouldn't have a problem. If this is totally new to you, it's going to be a little challenging. I'm here to help you. So it's okay. So, but if you look below here, you can see 80,000 chemicals that are registered for use. 800 million pounds of insecticides or herbicides are used per year, and 167 industrial chemicals are found in people that are not even in that industry. So they take Roundup and they kill the wheat with it so it doesn't mold, and they're feeding cows corn that are genetically modified. Well, when we test our blood, even though you haven't used Roundup at your house, it will still be inside of you. So that's why it's so important to do these a couple times of the year. We don't live in a bubble, nor would we want to. So because we eat a lot of processed sugars and refined flours, it really, it takes our digestion down, and it really causes a buildup of toxins in our body. Because if you're eating something that's on a shelf, it's got a ton of chemicals to keep it on that shelf. That's why we shop the outer ring, except the bakery part. We don't want the bakery or the ice cream part, but the outer ring of the store is where you want to be. So here are the products for the challenge. So I did three challenges this time. I did a blood sugar, an inflammation, and an immune system. And I just think it's important for the immune system because we have school starting back. I can't tell you how many people that have flown not wearing a mask and came back with COVID. We just flew, wore masks the whole time. We were on the plane, we wore them, and in the airport, we wore them. We didn't go to any place wild and crazy, so we didn't need to wear a mask. We were outside. So just that simple benefit, plus taking things that will support our immune system and already eating well, was one of the ways we protected our immune system. So blood sugar, that's another big one. So we really, really, really need blood sugar management as you look around. And as I was at the airport, oh, you can't see my presentation. Well, that's just dandy. Hold on. I will share my screen. Sorry, I didn't know that. I would have done it sooner. Not sure why it's not sharing here. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. So you just got to hear me talk. I'm so sorry. All right, I'll just pick up where we left off though. All right. So here are the products. So we're going to do blood sugar, inflammation, and immune system. So let's talk about blood sugar first. All of the programs are going to use this. And so we're going to do two products that everybody's going to use, whether you do either of the three programs. So we're going to do either a whey protein, the SP Complete, or the Veggie Pro chocolate or vanilla. So this is going to be like a whole food nutrition for you, and it's in a powder form. You can do it one of two ways. If you need some recipes, I'll be happy to share them. If you, I personally just put it in a blender bottle, so I will allow you to use some type of nut milk without sugar. You can use coconut milk. You can use hemp milk, whatever you want to use. I would stay away from rice or oat milk because they're going to be higher in calories, and I'm trying to get you away from the carbohydrate there. So stay more with your nut milks. You mix it with water if you wanted. I don't really want you using milk, so stay more with your nut milks. So this has all your amino acids, your essential fatty acids, and a host of other things that are included in that. So it's going to support your intestinal system, your muscular system, also your immune health. And this is something you can stay on after the program. Most of you, like I said, are doing the Veggie Pro. So don't worry about which one am I taking. So if you're most likely on the Veggie Pro. So they all have these good nutrients in alfalfa. Your whey protein will be SP Complete or rice protein and the dairy free. Most of you are using the Veggie Pro, so it's going to be more vegetables. And then we're going to be using the SP Cleanse. So the SP Cleanse is really key for us. We use this definitely as a way to really promote that phase 2 detoxification. So it has over 20 unique whole foods that are all designed to do this. Gives you help for your liver, your kidney, your gallbladder function, really encourages just healthy digestive function, and to help push us into that phase 2. And when we talk about phase 2, we're really looking at things like juniper berry, red clover flower, the apple pectin, the burdock root, the barley grass. But the key for this phase 2 is really the Spanish black radish root. And that's really the one that really supports that phase 2 detoxification that is really, really tough for our body. So Oregon root supports your normal bowel transit, immune system, skin health, and then also some fenugreek seed in there, which also gives you some good cholesterol metabolism. And if you heard me teach before, you know that when we talk about cholesterol, we talk about it's more of a sugar problem than a saturated fat problem. So be mindful of that as you go through this. So if you're specifically doing the blood sugar program, the next supplements we're going to talk about are the ones you're going to use. So the first one's going to be Gymnema. If you have a sweet tooth, this is what you will be taking. If you're on any of the other programs and you have a sweet tooth, you're welcome to take it. We can always add that in, but this will help to squelch sugar craving. And when we teach doctors, I don't do this to you because I don't think it's fair to give you bad chocolate, but we'll give the doctors a Gymnema tablet, have them suck on it a little bit, then have them swallow it. And then we wait a short time and then we give them a Hershey Kiss. Well, the Kiss doesn't taste sweet. It tastes like chocolatey mud. It just doesn't even taste good. So it really takes that, it kind of kills that sweet receptor, not kill it, but it deadens that sweet receptor. So really, really, really good for anybody that has a sweet tooth. But it also has other benefits by helping you keep your blood sugar in a normal range. Also helps to maintain cholesterol. So it's got a lot of benefit from that. So it helps with sugar metabolism as well. Now, Diaplex is another one if you're doing blood sugar. And any of the standard processed products that we use in our office that have a plex behind them, meaning they're like the Mac Daddy. They have the best of the best, and it's all packed in one neat, tiny package that is easy to take. So for me, instead of giving a patient, 6 pills or 7 pills, I can give them one with all those nutrients in it. So Diaplex super great for blood sugar handling. It helps to maintain those healthy blood sugar ranges. Also helps to encourage healthy blood sugar levels. So that's really important part, right? When we're doing a blood sugar is those healthy blood sugar ranges. I see blood work. I see the blood glucoses that are well in their 90s and 100s. That's not healthy. Anything over 90, if your glucose is over 90, it starts feeding cancer. Sugar feeds cancer. So we want to be really strong on keeping our blood sugar under that 90. So the Diaplex has Zypan, so it's got a digestive enzyme. It has AF beta food, so it's got those beet leaves in there, good for gallbladder. Beta-col, also the pituitrophin, which is your pituitary gland. So that's one of the things that tells your endocrine system, oh, we need to release some insulin, or we need manage some cortisol. So we want to support that as well, and the pancreas. So the pancreatrophin also supports the pancreas. So anybody that's diabetic, that's type 2 diabetic, we put them on this to help manage their blood sugar. So of course, it's going to help your function of your pancreas. It's going to support your healthy bowel, help your gallbladder, and it's, like I said, a neat little package for you. So this is what your blood sugar program looks like. So 3 times a day, and I know it sounds a lot. It's only for 10 days. Come on. I know you can do it. So you're going to do your scoops for your shake. If you're doing the complete, 2 scoops. If you're doing the Veggie Pro, it's 4 scoops. The scoops are a little bit smaller. The powder's a little bit lighter. So you can do 4 scoops. You can have up to 3 scoops a day, 3 shakes a day. Or if you just want to do 2, I just dump extra scoops in the 1 and 2, the first and second shake. So you're cleansed, but I want to keep these 3 separate. I find it easy just to drink your shake and take your supplementation. So you're going to do 5 SP cleanse. That's the one that really promotes that detoxification 3 times a day. Your Diaplex is going to be 5 capsules 3 times a day. Your Gymnema, 2 in the morning, 1 at lunch, 1 at dinner. You can take them with food, without food, with your shake, whatever's the easiest for you. If you want to dump them, if you're going to make a blender shake and you want to dump them all in there, go for it. Not my favorite way to do it, but as long as you get them in, whatever it takes. The reason why I like, it's okay idea to put them in the shake, But if you don't get all the ingredients of the shake container, because we leave some in and rinse it out, you're losing some of that. So that's why I like to take, me personally, I like to take them by mouth. So if you're doing the inflammation program, we're going to do a little change. You'll still do the shakes and you'll do the SP cleanse, but we're going to do a couple different supplementation. So the different products are designed to really reduce inflammation. And inflammation is a huge problem in my practice because the way people eat, the way people don't take care of themselves, they don't exercise enough, they don't stretch. If you have a cat or a dog, come on, you don't tell that cat or dog to stretch. No, they do it when they get up out of bed automatically. So it should be more like our animals and do the things that we know we should do. We just have these brains that get in our way. So on the inflammation program, the other product to be taken is Cyruta Plus. So Cyruta Plus is really good for capillary integrity and function. And when we think about inflammation, we think about blood. So when that blood gets inflamed by the foods we eat or the things that we're exposed to, it creates an inflammatory process in our body, which can be through digestion. It can be through just the inflammation of the capillaries, the venous system where we're carrying blood through the body. So we want to make sure that we have support for that. This also supports your cholesterol transport. It also helps to maintain blood sugar. Now remember, the diets are the same. The products we use are different, but we're still going to be managing blood sugar because blood sugar is the key. The lower it is, the under 90, the better, the less inflammation we have. So also supports healthy peripheral circulation and helps to maintain those capillary walls. The other one is Boswellia complex. So we're going to use Boswellia in this program, and then I would probably switch you to turmeric. Probably in the fall, we'll just start doing it with turmeric, but the Boswellia has a lot of benefit. So it has a big combination of a lot of the curcumins and the yellow pigments, the terpentine acids, all these things are really high. These phytochemicals are really, really strong, and they have the quality of them is very high. So it works super well in reducing the inflammation. But it also helps to support kidneys. It also helps to support joints. It also helps to support circulation and acts as an antioxidant. So it has a lot of benefits that help along the way as far as reducing inflammation, getting your body in a better place. Black currant seed oil. So black currant seed oil is an essential fatty acid. It's gamma-linoleic acid, and that really encourages the eicosanoid synthesis. That's your EPA and your omega-3s. But it helps with tissue repair. It helps with normal blood flow, and also helps with your immune system. So I'm trying to cover you with all the bases here so that you get a little bit of everything. Now, the inflammation program, almost the same. You have the dairy-free, the SP Complete or the Veggie Pro. So everybody's doing the Veggie Pro. I'm almost positive of. So that's 4 tablespoons per shake or 4 scoops. I make mine a little bit heavier. If you don't want to do 3 shakes in a day, just make heavier. I just put extra scoops in I usually do 1 to 2 shakes a day. I just put heavier scoops in my other ones. So you do the SP Cleanse, which is promoting the detoxification process for phase 2. And you do 5 capsules 3 times a day. You'll do the Boswellia complex, 1 tablet 3 times a day. You do the Cyruta Plus, 3 tablets 3 times a day. And the black currant seed oil is 2 pearls 3 times a day. So that's all in your book. And if you don't have a book, let us know and we'll email a guide to you. So if you're doing those 2, that's fine, but still listen about immune system, because there may be somebody that could benefit from that. And I think that's really important. For me, I teach because I don't think it's fair that I know this stuff and I'm not sharing it with people. I teach doctors so they can share it with their patients, because the more the information gets out, the better we are. We get locked in that Western model of medicine where we give a pill to take care of a system. We patch on the outside instead of going to the root of the problem. So for me, it may take a little bit longer, but our success is so much higher. So that's why I kind of do this for you. So the Immuplex, and you've heard me talk about Immuplex. I love Immuplex. So this is something, even since COVID started, I just do 2 of these a day. I do some other immune support as well. But it works as a really, really good thing in working and also lowering inflammation. It helps to increase your blood cell activity, which helps to keep it in a normal range. Huge antioxidant, but also just a bunch of support with zinc and iron and copper and chromium, folate. All these things are a really good source for supporting immune system as well as your selenium. So this is also a standalone. So if I have somebody that's going to travel, like we just traveled, so we took our Immuplex ahead of time, we travel with it. We travel with Immuplex, Contraplex, and Zypan. So if our stomach gets upset, we do Zypan. If we feel like we're going to get a cold, we do Contraplex. We do Immuplex to keep from getting a cold, so our bodies are supported. Thymex is the other one I recommend for the immune system protocol, and that's kind of a protomorphogen. It's a thymus gland from a cow. Doesn't mean you have to eat the whole cow, but it's in a neat pill, so it's easier to take that way. But that's the master gland of the immune system, so super important. It's kind of, your thymus is your short-term immune system. So anytime you're exposed to something, your body automatically gets kicked into gear. It's your thymus that kind of kicks into play. So your schedule would look like this: still 3 shakes a day, Veggie Pro 4 tablespoons, SP Cleanse 5 capsules 3 times a day, Immuplex 3 capsules 3 times a day, Thymex 2 capsules 3 times a day, or tablets, sorry. So that gives you your protocol for the 10 days. Now here's the program food list. So I think it's page 15 in your books, the vegetable serving size, half a cup. Your target is 13 to 15 servings. Honestly, if you ate that much, one, you would not have time to eat the rest of the day, and there'd be no room for anything else. So anything that's leafy green and low in carbohydrate, go for it. Starchy vegetables, we limit those. Why would we limit those? Because they have sugar. They have carbohydrates. Carbohydrates break down into sugar. So in our world today, we have a fat problem, not because of fat. We have a fat problem because of carbohydrates. We eat far too many carbohydrates in a day. So research tells us limit carbohydrates. So now we know that, but it's hard to get you to learn that. So that's why we teach you this and put you on a plan of action to get you there. So your fruit, half a cup to 3/4 of a cup, only in shakes. That's for the whole day. Because remember, double the vegetables to the fruits. Proteins, 3 ounces, 2 to 3 servings per day. Remember, your hand, the palm of your hand, is about, if you had a piece of chicken that big, 25 grams of protein. So that gives you a good amount of protein. Plus you're getting it in your Veggie Pro shake as well. You get anywhere, if you do heavy scoops, one shake, you get probably 15 to 20 grams of protein in that shake. Your miscellaneous would be your fats. You know, I'm a fat girl. I love me some butter and some real stuff. So you're allowed to use that on this. You know, there's no limitations on that. I mean, I wouldn't eat a stick of butter, and no fried butter and rolled an Oreo cookie, nothing like that. But feel free to use your olive oil, your avocado oil. We use macadamia nut oil, coconut oil. Make sure they're organic and expeller press. But remember, the vegetable oils, canola oil, bye-bye. They're just not good for you. So just give them away, use it as weed killer, and recycle your bottles. That's the best thing I can tell you to do with it. And then your water. So we drink a filtered water, or we drink mineral water. I will let you have some of the sparkling waters. That's fine, as long as they don't have sugar in them. Green tea is great, and just water, really good. Herb teas, and I'm letting you have coffee, but just be mindful. I would try to get some kind of organic coffee, so that at least you feel your body's not getting inundated with a bunch of chemicals. So keep that in mind as you purchase your coffee. And vegetables, so I mean, you can have unlimited, you know, serving size. You know, I say half a cup, but if you want to eat 6 heads of broccoli, by goodness, go for it. Remember, fruit, we're going to limit it. Double your vegetables to your fruit. So if you eat 2 heads of broccoli, you can have 1 fruit. So just follow those guidelines so we can keep that down. They're all written down in your book, just kind of giving you some ideas here. Try to do no fruit juices, even if you home make them. No cans with BPA, so make sure you read the label. It'll say on there BPA free. That's bisphenol A, which is an endocrine disruptor for our bodies. And then we want to keep the fruits down because of the sugar. So I just kind of delete it. The fruit we do is organic blueberries from King's, you know, so we get those, and you can still order them frozen, and we just keep them in the freezer, put them in the shakes, or you can have them as a little bit of a dessert. We pour organic whipping cream over ours. It's delightful. And then your vegetables, I mean, your lean proteins. So If you want to do it vegan, I have no problem with that, but I do like you to have a little bit of something to get all your essential amino acids. So you can eat your fatty fishes. Just try to get things that are grass-fed, grass-finished. Stay away from your porks, your sausage things, your meat, your cold cuts, and things like that, because they're going to have a lot of sodium nitrate and things that your body's going to have to process, and those are carcinogens anyway. So we want to stay away. You can bake them, roast them, broil them, eat them raw if you're into that. I mean, you could do sushi without the rice. And so you can have eggs, just make sure they're free range, no sodas, no fruit juices, no energy drinks, no fun. I'm allowing you to have coffee. If you're going to do a decaf coffee, it has to be Swiss water decaf. We used No Fun Joe, and that was in January, and I like it. It doesn't have any chemical taste. Normally they decaffeinated coffee with chlorine. So I don't choose not to drink chlorine for my breakfast. So I do that instead. And then your good fats like avocado, chia seeds, coconut oil, real butter, flaxseed oil, ghee, which is clarified butter, grapeseed oil, olive oil, your nut butters, you can make your own. And if you have a NutriBullet, which I have a really nice one now, I still didn't kill the other one. I put it out in our cottage for our guests because I couldn't kill it, but I see this very, very nice gift of the one that's not quite the Mac Daddy, but just the one that I needed. So you can make your own nut spreads and things like that. So here's your plate. This should be more vegetables, a good amount of protein. The vegetables you select are going to be lower in carbohydrates, and then your miscellaneous is going to be your little bit of fruit and everything else. Remember that I hope you noticed there was no bread, no rice, no pasta. So a pasta alternative that we use is called palmini, and you can find it in Publix, and it's made out of heart of palm, and they have linguine noodles, angel hair noodles, and even lasagna noodles. And it's in Publix, it's in the pasta aisle. It's usually on the top shelf. And they also have something called Miracle Noodle next to it, and that's made from a mycoprotein, both really low in carbohydrates. So it'd be a good addition to, if you wanted to have a little bit of a red sauce or some type of noodle with your meal, that's a great way to do that. So I bring this up about sugar because our gut bacteria, which is also part of our immune system, our large intestine, 75% of our gut-assisted lymph system is in our large intestine. 95% of our serotonin is made in our gut. Only 5% is made in our brain. So we want to take good care of the large intestine. So remember, gut bacteria is super important. We have good and we have bad, but the good bacteria really helps in our digestion process, helps to turn vitamins and minerals and nutrients and proteins into what we can utilize. So super important. So we want to feed the good guys. I mean, there are like 100 trillion microscopic bacteria in our stomach. So, our large intestine. So we really want to propagate that and keep that strong. If we're doing sugar, that's enemy number one, because then we build up the bad guys, and that's going to create problems in our gut. It's going to create leaky gut. It's going to create, we have the risk of colon cancer because we're not supporting our intestines properly by utilizing sugar and white flour and refined carbohydrates like that. They just kind of stick to the inside. And I just wanted you to understand how super important the gut bacteria is. So we have some bacteria cause inflammation. So that's the bad bacteria. And guess what feeds that? Sugar. And then we have others that combat it. So if we don't eat sugar and we support it with the good nutrients and good fiber, we get the good bacteria built up in there. And it's also a part of disease of aging. It can affect as Alzheimer's. So they're showing that there's some cognitive impairment in elderly because they have a lot of bad bacteria building in their system. I mean, if you go to, and I know this is near and dear to some of you in the audience's hearts, but if you go to assisted living, memory care, look at what they feed them. Look at our schools. I mean, they feed them bread and pizza and sandwiches and things that are cheap to make. So we're not really giving nutrition. We're just feeding bacteria that's not going to be healthy bacteria. So we want to starve those bad bacteria. And we do that by avoiding substances like these. So favorite thing they like to chomp on is sugar. So the key to longevity, not only for our bodies, our organs, and our brain, feed the good bacteria, starve the bad bacteria. So we want to consume really good foods with prebiotics to feed the good guys. Good food sources are your veggies, like fibrous root vegetables, mushrooms, kimchi. You can even do things like any of the fiber that's in your foods. Now we use, like at the office, we use Pro-Symbiotic, which is a pre and pro. Kind of helps the system get kicked in. But once you build up the good guys, you don't need to keep doing that. You just need to maintain them. Most people are taking a probiotic, which is awesome, but you're putting the good guys in. You're not feeding them. If you don't feed them, they're going to die. So you have to keep putting them in. So really key to get a prebiotic with your probiotic. And like I said, if you're not eating a lot of fibrous root vegetables, mushrooms, and things like that, then you're not getting those good bacteria fed. So speaking of sugar, it is summertime, and I did see what you all are doing on Facebook. So this is what we feed our kids in the summertime. So just look at these little worm popsicles, 26 grams of sugar, red velvet whoopie pie lobster, 28 grams, on top of some French fries, mind you. The watermelon cookie, which we can see the extra sugar on all that, 30 grams. And that's for one. And what kid do you know eats only one? No, they probably eat 2 to 3 to 4, and you were probably helping them. So this is where our problem starts. Now, my big kids, we have a problem here as well, because we do things like adult beverages, which still have a lot of sugar in. And I know that most of you don't just do one. And I'm not talking about a 12-ounce pour of things. I'm talking a regular size. So these are all very high in carbohydrates. So be careful what you drink. And there is no alcohol in any of these 10-day programs, by the way. I saw what 4th of July did to most of you. So I always do this I calculate up how many you need to do of what to get rid of them with exercise. So if you want to have your watermelon margaritas, then you'd have to do 50 minutes of walking, 20 minutes of running, or 8 minutes of metabolic training, or 13 minutes of burpees. And if you've not done a burpee before, you wouldn't want to do 13 minutes. You wouldn't want to do 2 minutes of them. So we basically just increase everything if you're going to have double the margaritas. And if you're going to get the whole picture going on, then you're going to be walking for 4 or 5 hours. We just drop you off, let you walk home. So just be mindful. These are the way that sugar gets into our diets, and you don't even think about it. You're like, I have patients say, "Oh, well, I don't eat sugar," but I'm like, "Do you do potatoes? Do you do chips? Do you do this? Do you eat rice?" All those things are carbohydrates that convert to sugar. So this kind of gives you a little idea here. If you ate just 100 calories more than you need per year, you gain 10 pounds of weight. So you can see the pictures below. A third of a burger is 100 calories. A third of a veggie burger is 100 calories, and 2 to 3, almost 2.3 ounces is 100 calories for chicken. And that's with the barbecue sauce. So we would want to be mindful of those things. But when you throw you can still eat a hamburger. I just do it open face, throw it on some lettuce, and don't eat the bun. So I can still have my burger and eat it too. So I saw what this guy made you eat and drink. He wants you to celebrate his birthday. So you can just look and see, how many, these are all 100 calories. So 5 pieces of grilled chip is 100 calories. That's great. A third of a hot dog is 100 calories. So you can see the good foods that have a little bit more nutrition, like the asparagus. Even the watermelon has more nutrition. You can have up to 2 cups of watermelon for 100 calories. So you can see a third of a cup, and a third of a cup is not very big. So be mindful of the foods that you eat. Honestly, if you're eating foods that are nutrition rich and fiber dense, you can have more of it, and almost an unlimited amount. So if you feel like you're hungry and you feel like you get hungry on this, then you're not doing it properly. There's more than enough food on here, but it makes you plan, it makes you think. So water, we already talked about water. Get your little fancy one. This is called Zulu. The bottom screws off, the top screws off, and it's a thermos. So it's stainless steel inside. I like to drink out of either glass or stainless steel. So that was my option, and I can clean it. I'm kind of nerdy about stuff sitting in there. So I can clean it through and through. So it's awesome. So keeping hydrated, half your body weight in ounces of water is a way to do it. You can add lemon or cucumber, which is very refreshing. So don't do your sugary drinks if you are doing them. You can't have them on this program anyway. and exercise, for goodness sakes. I know it's hot outside, but we have gyms, you have air conditioning inside. There's so many things you can do inside. Get out early in the morning, get in the pool and do some exercise. You need to do at least 30 minutes. So the rule is it's 3.5 hours per week. That's 30 minutes a day. I mean, you can do 30 minutes a day. You sit and watch TV for an hour at night, take 30 minutes of that hour and march in place or do some sit-ups. So breathing and self-guided meditation, all great things and all tools that we can add in. Find a friend to walk with, ride your bike a couple 100 miles a week, something like that. All right, so here's your plan of action. Going to go in and get rid of all the sugared liquids in your refrigerator door, and they'll be in the house and in the refrigerator door and in your house. So go and read your labels. You'd be really shocked. Look at your pickles, look at your ketchup, look at your mayonnaise, look at your salad dressings, and just look in your cabinets. Just turn that label around. And if it's got 28 carbohydrates per serving, look how big the serving size is. Usually it's really small. So you want to take those things and just go ahead and move them on out of the house. If you have a question about what that should be, just put it in the chat or ask me at the end or email us. So clean out the high fructose corn syrup. That's the other deadly one. We use that. It's 1.6 times sweeter than sugar. So it's very addicting, and it's in our soft drinks, and it's in your refrigerator. You'll be shocked. I'm telling you. I thought I had the cleanest refrigerator, and I pulled pickles out. I was like, I cannot believe that pickles have high fructose corn syrup in them. They weren't dill pickles, but I didn't think that. So I don't have those in there anymore. So provide carbohydrates, which are nutrition rich and fiber dense. A sweet potato, those kind of things, your broccoli, your cauliflower, your lettuces, all those things. You can have all those. So wait 20 minutes before your second serving. Most of us eat so fast that our brain doesn't even have time to catch up with that. I mean, you go to a restaurant and watch people, they're on their phone, a whole family will be on their phone, shoving food in, sipping to wash it down, shoving food in, and before you know it, it's gone. Take your time, enjoy your meal. That's your fuel for your body. It's a necessary thing, but if it's good food and it's nutrition rich and fiber dense, you're going to have to chew it. So chew, swallow, all that kind of good stuff we learned when we were little and never paid attention to. I'm telling you now. Remember when they said that, oh, I don't need algebra? And yeah, we've needed it. I've needed it several times. So yeah, we still need it. Okay. So start moving. Your goal is 10,000 steps per day. I don't care if you swim, ride a bike, stationary bike, walk on a treadmill, do an elliptical run trainer, go outside and walk or run, whatever it is, just do it. Get on it. And I just throw a little strength training in there as well. And then the other thing I encourage you to try to do is try to buy organic and local. It's a little challenging for my people up north, but Florida, we just can get stuff year round. We grow a living tower to pull lettuce off that. We have local sources, and you can buy local in the stores as well. Find your local farmers markets. They do an amazing job with their fruits and vegetables. So this is what your food pyramid should look like. It's kind of reverse of what we've been taught, but obviously what they've been teaching us hasn't worked because our population is, almost 70% overweight or obese. So my plan is to help you not be that way. All right, so the challenge is on. We will have our next class on Wednesday because I know you have questions. And then I'll talk about, I've got a couple of things I'm thinking about. I probably will talk a little bit about longevity because it really deals with blood sugar and inflammation. And I think that it's longevity has to do with as we age. So none of my people in my class are spring chickens. So I want to support those of us that are not spring chickens. So it's only for 10 days. So I will see you Wednesday, same time, same station. So see you back then. I'll send you the link tomorrow for the recording, and we'll see you on Wednesday.